Right, good afternoon everybody, fellow YouTubers, viewers, everybody else, and hello and welcome to the flight to Heathrow again. So yes, I'm going to give it another go. It's hopefully the PC's a little bit better this week. I've turned a few things off, turned off photogrammetry, a few things. Obviously, if anybody watched the flight I did a couple of weeks ago from Dublin, it was a little bit of a... I could use a swear word for that, but yeah, it wasn't very good. Cluster something. Finish that sentence. So it wasn't very good, but that, I think we put that down to a hard drive. So we've replaced the hard drive on SSD, and the last stream I did seemed very good. So going to give it another go. Going to go down there, or up there, should I say, in Iberia this time. So from Madrid's default scenery, but it does look pretty good to be fair. I know there is scenery out there, but this is fine for what we need. So we're going to give it another go, and hopefully get into Heathrow without any problems. Hey Dark, hey Nick, hey Dan, hey Barry. Morning, it's afternoon, is it not? Yeah, it's like 12:30, it's afternoon now. Unless you've just got up. Hey Brian. So yeah, we're going to give it another go to Heathrow in the Iberia. Pretty much all ready to go. I've started the loading. Interestingly, I've whacked a bit of cargo on today. So these sort of flights, you're going to get cargo. So payload's pretty high, so about 162 passengers I think it was, almost a full load for the Phoenix anyway. 162, yeah, which I think that's pretty much, there we go, yeah, so full load of passengers, so no space, and I've got cargo as well. So it makes it interesting for the OFB, because basically we're zero fuel weight limited now. So we're only just under the zero fuel weight limit, so we've got to make sure we're not above 61 tonnes and barely any underload. So in terms of fuel, plog's about 6.6, that's exactly what I've loaded, or asked to be loaded, 6.6 fuel. In terms of the weather, it's not actually too bad. Ignore some of this, maybe a bit of, what's this, a few thunderstorms around. Heathrow isn't looking too bad, 080 at 15, nice and, well, clearish, in a bit of cloud, but good visibility. Becoming a little bit gusty, a little bit later on, but it's straight down the strip, so even though it would normally take probably a little bit of extra fuel, Gatwick's down the corner and that's similar, so we should be fine with this. Maybe a little bit windy, and then foggy in the morning as well, but we'll be well in there before then. So in respects to extra fuel, it'd be nice to take a little bit of extra fuel really for the winds, but we got cargo. At the end of the day, cargo makes money, so instead of offloading that and putting more fuel on, I'm fairly happy just to take block fuel and just take the cargo instead. So that's what we're going to do. Where's Gatwick? Yeah, windy, rain showers, but we're not planning to go there. Stansted's very similar. So again, be looking at all this, but it shouldn't be any problems for Heathrow. There's two runways, of course, and the runway's pretty much straight down the strip, so the chances of not getting into Heathrow are pretty slim. Birmingham is similar. Manchester is also similar. So yeah, a little bit of a windy day in the UK later on today, it seems. Looking out the window, yeah, it's a little bit of a breeze. So yeah, it's obviously a little bit windy. A few rain showers, a bit of heavy rain showers as well. So not the greatest day later on. I haven't got to go to work. I'm on days off now, which is great. I was on days off yesterday, but had plenty of things to do. So I don't have to worry about this in the real world. For sure, I can just play around with this in the sim. Madrid's, yeah, quite windy down in Madrid as well, 230. I think they're using 14 right for departure at the minute, so that's what we're going to plan. Heavy rain showers, what's this? Yeah, maybe heavy rain showers, bit of gusty winds, CBs around as well. Sigmet, yeah, a bit of a jet stream coming up, and yeah, maybe a little bit of icing, bit of turbulence. That's okay, we can deal with that, we should be above that. So that's not too bad either. NOTAMs, what have we got for the NOTAMs? Probably lows for Madrid, it's a massive airport, so yeah, it's really quite a bit. Aircraft stands, not too worried about those. Unmanned flying aircraft. Hey David, how you doing? Hey Matsy. Lots of things, VORs. Ugh, God. It's no wonder we get bored and miss things, can't be asked to read all this. Unmanned aircraft, yeah. Instrument departures are nav. 14 left daytime. Okay, not going to do that. Okay, it's not too bad actually. Heathrow, what have we got? Bright lights emitted from a Gulf range. Oh, there we go. Gulf range on approach. What's that? Approach for 27 left. We're not planning that. It's going to be 09 left, I think, so that's not going to affect us. That's probably not the sim anyway. What's this? Overfly filming. Oh, there we go. They're obviously filming some sort of period drama by the looks of it. Pilots requesting not to overfly filming. Globe Theatre, yeah, if they're filming something, you don't want some sort of jumbo jet sort of flying over the top of the Globe Theatre, you know, just supposed to be like the 1700s or something. It's probably not quite realistic, is it? Cranes, stands, I think we saw those the other day. They're not going to affect us. And Heathrow taxiway, cranes. Yeah, don't care too much about that. Gatwick, yeah, don't care too much about that as well. Good. So that's just the brief overall. I've got start of it loaded. So who are we? Iberia. 3-1 Golf Romeo. Well, that's what I need to do. I need to put the. For those you want to see the OFP, let me just pin that in as well. Let's get that in. That copy in. 2 seconds. Done. And pin. Good. Right there. So those of you who want to see the OFP, you can see that. Cost index, yeah, it's an Iberia flight. No idea what the cost indexes are for other airlines, but cost index 30, that would do. I'm sure they're not that bothered about using fuel. 30, it might be lower. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? Cruise altitude, yeah, 34,000 feet. So yeah, we're reasonably heavy. So 34,000 feet, we'll probably do. Put that in a second. IRS, yeah, they're somewhere in Spain probably. Crest the winds. Buzz the theatre. Yeah, I could do. Right, the winds are in 34,000 feet. Got that. Be interested to see what the fuel planning says in a minute. Because I've got -5 here. Somebody said that the -5 per factor gives slightly better fuel predictions for the waypoints. But last time I did this, it gave us a pretty low block fuel compared to what the FMGC says. So we'll have a look at that in a second. -52. Ground temperature, what is it? 26 degrees. Yeah, nice and warm down here. Alternate fuel to Gatwick is about 1.1. And so fuel weight is 60.9, so right on the limits. /30 until we get the load sheet. That's what it says. So we want 6.6. And I remember this said something quite high. Well, that's not too bad. There we go, 6.3. So, yeah, that's a bit more consistent. I think the Dublin flight, or was it Dublin flight or the flight I did the other day, was it? I can't remember what it was, down to Nice. It said a really strange block fuel. In fact, actually, that might be a little bit off because I haven't even got the route in. Departure. So this will increase it a little bit. Summer Sierra, I think, is the departure to Sierra. That's the one. So this will change things ever so slightly. 09 left, and what are we? Roxog. And there will be a procedure from that as well. Roxog 1 hotel. See anyone I got? That's one, yeah. Via. Not too sure. There might be something from Ockham, but we'll have a look at that in a second. So what's it saying this time? Still 6.3. Is it going to change anything if I do it again? Yeah, 7.3. So yeah, it's a little bit higher block fuel. So we're going to go with what the flight plan says. We're going to monitor this and see what -5 on the OFP gives us. So it's going to come up with no extra fuel. But yeah, it was some -700. So yeah, this would normally ring alarm bells really seeing this. So yeah, it thinks trip fuel is about 4 tons or 4.1, 1 hour 41, and we've got 4.9, 146. Yeah, a little bit higher in the sort of time, and yeah, 800 kilograms more on fuel as well. So we'll give this a go, and if we've got to commit, we've got to commit. But it's good little testing really of the fuel profile on SimBrief. So we've done that. Radnavs will come back to the seconds. LEMD, nice big runway, so we can probably come back here, and I think they landed on 18 right, so that would do. Perfect, come back to the second fuel. We've kind of done secondary, we need to have a look at. Right, let's have a look at the emergency procedures. Where have I put you? There you are. Sim documents. Takeoff data. Right, can you see this? Let's see if I can put this above. Ha! There we go. Right, so hopefully you should be able to see that. And we want Madrid, which is in Spain, Portugal, Spain, 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 Spain. Malaga, no, not Malaga, are we in Madrid? Right, there we go. So 1-4 right. So NADP departure, sorry, NADP 1. So 2995/4995. The thrust reduction acceleration, engine out is 2995. That's good. Right, non-standard 3,000 feet left turn to Tobec. Okay. So there's no distance to worry about. It's just at height, which isn't. It's only going to be what, a couple of thousand feet above the airfield. Fair enough. Tobec. Oh, spell. And what will be inbound 047? Yeah. 047 and right turns. Good. Alright, there we go. If any RAS did taxiway callouts or the aircraft. Yeah, we haven't got that. I'm sure somebody would do like a RAS type. Whatchamacallit? Like a RAS mod, maybe. Right, yeah, the browse. Good chat. Overlay still there. Alright, let's go back. So, oh, what am I doing? Not that one, not that one. I think the terminal's located so strange in relation to the runway. You need sat nav. Yeah, it is. It's a big place. I don't know. I mean, you know, it's set up for Iberia, isn't it? Really. So, you know, the main terminals that we're at. So this one here and that one over there on the west. I mean, Iberia basically use these, which is basically in the middle of the airport. So you've got what, 36 left and 36 right that side, and then you've got the older runways over there. So I mean, they don't have to taxi very far, I don't think, for any particular. So why is the door open and the jetty's off? It's always a health and safety hazard, isn't it? Have we even finished loading? I don't think we have. Oh, this sim does funny things at times. No, we haven't. So can we at least get the jetty back? Are they boarding without the jetty? What am I after? Ground services. That's one. Yeah, no, they're still jumping on somehow. I think they've done the cargo. That's good. Yeah. Very capable passengers. They're leaping from one jetway to the aircraft. Good. Right, so that's done. Company message. That's probably the load sheets. What I was doing the secondary, wasn't I? So secondary. Copy. Let's do little engine fail. Waypoint. Oh, spell. E-V-A-L. And where are we going? LEMD. 14 right. 140 degrees. 15. So it doesn't matter too much about this waypoint, it's just literally something to hang our hat on. Store that, because it's not really the procedure, but it's just in the secondary then. Engine fail. There. Back into Madrid. This is probably where we're going to go if something goes bang. Arrival. What did I say? 18. Let's go. Oh, we've got loads of different arrivals. Yeah, ILS Zulu 18 left, that'd be good because we're sort of going off to the left anyway, so that kind of makes sense. And do we have any vias? No, we don't. Doesn't matter. That's fine. That would do. We're sort of out to Beck. I'm going to have a look at this, where this is in a second. Hold there, hold. And 047 right turns. Good. So that's it. I don't like seeing amber on the FMGC, never mind. Yeah, I mean, Madrid is it's a little bit of a maze. I mean, it helps if you sort of know where you're going. FS2 is good as grass. Okay. It's not as bad as LA. I've not even been to LA, no, but that's another equally awkward one, isn't it? Right, what time are we supposed to go? I think we're supposed to go on the hour in about 13 minutes, so it's, oh, I know what I haven't done. I haven't put the bloody CFG file for the views, have I? I doubt that's going to work now, is it? It's probably going to cause an issue. Yeah. Do you think I can add the Phoenix Camera CFG file into the community folder? It'll probably cause some sort of problem. I won't do it. It's alright, there's something else to do. I just forgot. Never mind. Right, let's have a look at the load sheets. So we've got zero fuel weight is, yeah, about 60.9, that's what we got. Zero fuel weight CAG 31.1. 6.6, 67.3 is going to be that takeoff weight, which is going to be more or less what it is. Yeah, it's about that. It's good, accepted. Right, that's that done. That's going to wait for the main load sheet. Let's have a quick look at the charts. So, Madrid, Summer Sierra to Sierra is what we right. You can spot that. Oh, that might be it. Summer Sierra. Yes, that's the one. Good. That one there. Ground charts. Airports. It's not really that good, is it? South configuration. Yeah. Taxi routings. Yeah, that could be useful. Don't need that one. That's going to be the better one, I think. Right, good. So we are... Where are we? We're up here somewhere. Is there a stand number? I don't think so. Somewhere up here. 5:30, something like that. Somewhere. So I think taxi's quite straightforward. Probably out here, November. Probably if we go out, if we go down... Is that Bravo? Yeah, if we go out here, maybe Bravo. And then it's got Lima. Yeah, maybe we can just go full length there. So yeah, it's probably not actually too bad, to be fair. It's probably quite straightforward. That's full length. We're going to need the full length figures as well. 14 right is there. 3,988 metres. So that's what we're going to need for the performance. Right, I think we're almost there. That's done. I wanted to look at Tobeck as well. That's what I was going to look at. Find where it is. So I'm going to do an approach back to 18 left if we need to come back. 18 left. Aha, there we go. No idea where Tobeck is, probably somewhere down here. It's probably clear of the mountains, which is probably the main thing. Good, that's done. That's done. What else we've got to do? That's all done. Fuel is on, I think. Yeah, fuel's on. Bounce can come on. Fuel pumps. And I could do with my work iPad. Let me check lists. I've actually got to email somebody at work as well. I've got to do that today. At some point. Right. There's my checklists. There we go. Right, that's all ready. Oh, I've got so much crap on my desk. I need to give it a clean. Right, done. Let's have a quick look at the flight plan. Let's set up. Get you on. Right, so what does the SID say? So, quite a climb gradient, that shouldn't be a problem for us. Transition altitude 30,000 feet, that makes sense. 2,000 foot airport, so yeah, a little bit higher than we're used to. Lots of terrain around to the north. Up to Summer Sierra. Do we have a stop altitude? Initial climb clearance is 13,000 feet. Good. I don't think there's any ATC on it anyway. It's 13,000, that's in. So, speed constraint, so 6,200, 7.6. So 220, 240. Okay. Quick look. Straight heads. So there we go. Yeah, 6,200, 220, 240, 10,000, 13,000. Up to Kasara. I can't pronounce that. Gominya, Viho, whatever that is. And Summer Sierra, and then the flight plan. So 750 miles. Yeah, 1.7. So yeah, that's sort of technically blue CNR. So yeah, it'd be interesting to look at this flight plan. Certainly the fuel usage in the aircraft. 750 miles. So yeah, that's looking pretty bang on. Right, let's have a quick look at the performance. Boarding's complete. Good. That's that done. Is that gone or is that going? Yeah, what's that doing? Bugger off. Chocks and gones. Don't need that. GPU, get you connected. You can go. Right, we're just ready to go now. So, what do we want? Mass and balance. Completely forgotten what I'm doing. So 67.3, what did the load sheet say? On the trim. It's about 29.4 for the trim. It'll be more or less there because I haven't taken any extra fuel. Yeah, Amsterdam's not better, is it? Yeah, these big European airports, they're hard work sometimes. Performance. So, 1 full right, that's what we want to go off. It is dry. Config 1, that'll be fine. No toga, no anti-ice, no backs. 67.3 is the takeoff weight. Trim is about 29.4, more or less. Sync the weather, 2:30 at 6, 25 degrees, 1019, which I think we have. Yep. And we're going to do full length, which is 3988, which is what we said it was. So that's handy. Green dot's exactly 220, which is the speed constraint. So 152, 154, 52, 152, 154. Thrust acceleration was 2995/4995. 2995 is the engine out, and that's flaps 1 and 65 degrees. I need some curtains for this room. The lights reflecting on the screen, I can barely see it. Right, so that's performance done. Load sheets, not quite yet. Just double check this is all good. So, got the engine oil, got the hydraulics, got the oxygen, that's all pretty good. So I can do a little cockpit preparation checklist. Ready to go from the hour departure. So aircraft acceptance is completed, fuel quantity is... so yeah, just under 6.6, and it's balanced. Seatbelts are on. ADRSs we have 3 in nav, and the barrier ref is QNH1019. So yeah, cockpit preparation checklist is complete. Let's get a bit of Unicom on. And I'd love to. Oh, I completely forgot where I am. Right, so I'm just in front of that intersection. I think I'm 526. I'm going to say 526, I don't care. That would do. 526 will be fine. Right, anyway, all good. That's done. Quick over. Oh, didn't want to do that, did I? Yeah, that's all done. That's done. That's done. That's done. That's looking good. That's done. Let's have a quick look at the ATC. Charge my phone as well. Oh, we might have some control on when we get to London. That'd be quite nice. If we get some control. So no, don't think there's any ATC on. Never mind. Not a problem. We can sort it out. Here's the final load sheet, so let's have a look. So if your weight is 60.5, okay, so it's a bit less, which is good. So that's below the limits. So if your weight is 31.2, so there's no change there. So don't need to change that. And 29.5 is the actual trim. So yeah, that's pretty much as expected. 29.5. So I don't need to worry about doing any more performance. That's all within limits, so we can accept that. That's done. Flight plan perf. Good, so we're ready to go. Status. What's the status? Katsu. I don't know why that's there. That was there before, but that does disappear when the engines start. That shouldn't really be that. I don't think it's there normally. Good, yeah. 30 seconds. Let's get the beacon on. And for such checklist, parking brake is on. Takeoff data is confirmed. Windows are closed. PDs are flight mode. Well, not flight mode, but I don't care. Doors are closed and armed, and you're closed. And the beacon is on. So that's before sat checks complete. Now, I was going to do my really sort of bad Spanish accent, but I don't know. It'd just probably be terrible. Maybe I'll do it if we get, like, control on it. What did I say? It was 252 or something. 525. Amateur traffic, Iberia 31 Golf Romeo, stand 525. Push the starts to face south for 14 right departure. Right, so that's done. That's done. Get you on. Parking brake can be released. And where's my ground services? Start you. Oh, forgot these. Always forget these bits. And you're on, and you're on. Right, probably clear start engine. So engine mode selector is start. Do 2 engine, it's a pretty short taxi. Yeah, it's looking good. Starting 1. I think somebody was landing on 18 right. Oh, he might have just landed. Yeah, I just missed him, I think. So this has got an old airframe apparently. I think it's about 18 years old, this aircraft. But it does have brake fans. So I did put brake fans on it, but I've put some old school gauges on it and a few other things. Let's start turning yaw. Oh, wrong way. That way. Right, engine 1 is starting stable, starting number 2. Overshoot the center line, maybe a touch. Oversteer back onto it. Maybe he's training. Maybe that was why. Right, that would do. And you can stop. Oh, it's disappeared. Yeah, we need to get a decent pushback thing. I know there's a pushback helper thing. I might see if I can get that back, actually. Now I've upgraded the SSD, I wonder if the pushback tool would be better. Anyway, he's clear. Engines are started and look good. It's back to normal. Leads off, APU's off, and spoilers, rudder trim, flaps. 29.5, which is probably what it's almost at anyway. About there. Let's turn you up a little bit. Can't see. Yeah, that'll do. Nothing on the status. Good. So the after start, anti-ice is off. Ecam status is jets. Pitch trim is 29.5% set, and the rudder trim is neutral. So the after start check's complete. So taxi out of here, again, pretty straightforward. I say straightforward, everyone's saying it's massive, and it is pretty bad. OSX, pushback toolpath, flicks. It conflicts with GSX. Oh, okay. But it's got a, isn't GSX has got its own pushback thing, isn't it, Barry? So do you don't need anything else. Anyway, we'll taxi down here, go out here, go right, Bravo, and then we just go all the way down to the end to Lima. That will do, yeah. Madrid traffic, Iberia 31 Golf Romeo is taxiing to runway 14 right via Bravo and Lima Echo. So down here, right, and then that's Echo 2, I can't even see that. Oh no, 12, it's not an Echo, it's a 12, it's a gate 12. Right, that's good, that's good. And clear on the left and the right. Let's get going. Yeah, I need to get those camera views back in, I think. Doesn't look like there's anybody around that's going to get in the way. And brakes are checked. Quick flight controls. Phoenix probably still haven't done things of these, so full up. Full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, and this isn't going to work, so I know it's not going to work. No, Phoenix, sort it out. Honestly, mate, I want my rudders to work. Oh. Right, I have to do it. How are we going to do that? I'll just have to do it this way and pretend we're not going to go off. Alright, full right rudder. Full left rudder. And neutral. Nowhere near sat in the right place. Everything's in the wrong. Oh. I think my dog's alright. He's been very quiet. Alright, so out of here, I turn right, second left, down to the end, and then take off. Nice and easy. Right, so that's done. I can do this. That's on max. That is all on. That doesn't need it. Oh, the radar is on. That is pressed. So, quick pairs performance is full length figures for runway 14 right. Engine out departure is non-standard 3,000 feet, so only 1,000 feet above us on Barrow. So yeah, 3,000 left-hand turn to Tobec. Holding point, which is, where is it? Oh, is it to the right? Where is it? Oh, it's over there. It's not to the left. Was that it? No, that's it. Yeah, it's off to the left. Yeah, okay. Can't even see it. So yeah, straight ahead 3,000 left to Tobec. Hold there. Departure is, we haven't got clearance, there's no ATC, but it is a Summer Sierra to Sierra departure. And we're stopping at, it's a flight level 130, which is 13,000, and that is blue. Alright, go on, not spending all day getting to the runway. Hurry up. Nobody on the right, nobody on the left. So, taxi checklist, flight controls are checked, flap setting is config 1, and FMA is climbing up blue 1FD2, radar and predicted wind shear is on, ECAM MO is takeoff no blues, and the EFBs are stowed and disconnected. That is the taxi checks complete. So this should take us straight down here, and then we should get to basically a sort of a bit of a split in the taxiway, and we won't go straight on, we'll veer off to the right. It seems sensible. I'm definitely on Unicom, aren't I? Yes, good. If I start just talking to myself on a random frequency that nobody cares about. Hey John, how you doing? Yeah, John. I mean, I understand why Phoenix have done it. You know, I'm not blaming them for doing that. Because everybody's got rudder pedals, and there are they are accommodating to the masses, I suppose. But for those of us that do have rudder pedals and want it to work like it does work in the real aircraft, because that's what we're used to. It just needs an option to sort of revert it back to how it was, which at the minute it doesn't have that. So it just needs an option, like the sim options, the airframe options. It just needs something there which to put it back. Right, I think it's this one. This is Lima. That looks like it. Lima Echo. That's the one I want. This takes us down to the end of the runway. So yeah, I do get why they've done it. I get they're sort of appealing to the masses and it's everything else, but some of us need it to work like it does, and I don't know, maybe they're going to work on it. I mean, Phoenix are pretty good, aren't they? So I'm sure they will do something to put it back to how it was. Anyway, here's the end of the runway. It should be anyway. It looks like it. It looks like the start of a runway. That's promising. Let's get all this set up. That's it. Turn you off. Turn you off. And let's just stop before we actually encroach the runway. That's done. You're on. I think I've done everything else. Paranoia. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I didn't time the engines. Oh, I'm sure we've had 3 minutes. I'm sure we have. It's been 9 minutes since we pushed. Yeah, we've had 3 minutes. That's fine. Good. So I think the approach is clear. We'll just double check, make sure there's no stupid bastards landing on this runway. Refresh. Need to charge the phone. Good. There's no one anywhere. There's no one around me. Good. It's not even worth bloody doing a Unicom call, really, but anyway, we'll do it. So anyway, the lineup chat list is cabin is secure for takeoff. Takeoff runway we've got one for right, full length, and we just say takeoff clearance is confirmed. TCAS is T8RE, and the packs 1 and 2 are both off. So lineup chat list complete. Amateur traffic, Iberia 31 Golf Romeo lining up, taking off runway 14 right for the Summer Sierra 2 Sierra departure. Come on, girl. Oh, there you are, mate. Hello. Are you still alive? How you doing? Good boy. He had a good run this morning, so I think he's a bit knackered. Come on, girl. You're not that fat. Move. Right, approach is clear from what I can see. No stupid bastards landing or taking off on that runway in the other direction. The vans shouldn't be there. It's their own stupid fault for getting in the way. Right, take this on the roll. And take off. Manflex 65 SRS. It's 100 knots. AP1 rotates. That wind. Bars to climb. Gear is up. Yeah, nice long takeoff roll that was. A bit windy. Get you in. AP1. Thrust climb. Hey Andy, how you doing? So NADP1, so we're just holding this to about 4,900. So effectively just holding sort of V2 plus 10 or 20 knots, whatever it works out. So it's going to climb in a minute once you get to about 5,000 feet. Packs can go on before I forget them. So let's go climb very shortly. There we go, thrust climb, climb. Should have been a thrust climb anyway, really. What did that say? That should have been thrust climb anyway. Let's do something else. Don't know. Very strong winds, 53 knots above the ground. It's only a few thousand feet above the ground as well. Very strong winds. Windy down in Madrid. Does the EO procedure ever change? If not, why do they not include it in the air act costing so you don't have to? Because Nick, it's company specific, so it's not a database thing where everyone can use it. As SP flap 0 spoilers. Yeah, it's company specific procedure. So like we have our engine out procedures in the FMGC. So when we do secondary, you know, when we can I do it? Probably can't do it now. No, because I've already gone, but when you do your departure, you know, when you normally pick your SIDS and you just go, okay, there, that's Summer Sierra, and it's there. There's also another SID in our FMGCs which says EO SID, I think it is. So we just select that and put that in the secondary because it's already then all loaded for us. Yeah, that's because it's a company thing. Right, let's go up. So there's no control, so we wanted 3-4, we can do that. So let's start going up to 3-4. If it managed to climb, that's fine. We can set standard. So standard is set across jet to 340 blue. So just holding green dot, which is what we want to do for the speed constraints. And it's looking a little bit cloudy. Rain showers maybe. I'm going to turn in a minute. I might turn. Yeah, in fact, do you know what? Let's just get away from this. So heading. Let's just pretend we're not doing that. We'll be given a clearance by ATC, which is sometimes what they do. Yes, help with the fuel as well. Let's just go right, Summer Sierra. Good, right turn. Direct. Leave the cost index in, it's Iberia, don't really care about that. Right, nav Summer Sierra. Keeps us away from the weather. Don't really want to fly through that. It's looking a little bit crap. Maybe a little bit build up, so maybe let's start with some CVs. So yeah, try and keep away from it if we can. Alright, lights can come off. I think crew can be released. Smooth enough. Leave the belts on until we're above the clouds probably. If the OSIDs are company specific, are the holds published holds? They can be dark, they can be, and they're sometimes not, because it depends where it goes. So often it is a published hold, yes, because it sort of goes to a known holding fix, and then sometimes it's sort of, you know, its own random sort of, it's on a, you know, it's on a radius on like 27 degrees, 20 miles away, and then you hold, you know, which isn't published, it's not actually there anywhere, and you would just have to tell ATC what you're doing if that was the case. So yeah, it's so the engine out procedures I've written that's in that document. That's on the Gav's Discords. That's what my company does to a degree. I've amended a couple of them because I actually looked at some of the engine out procedures and I just thought they were nonsense because they were sort of going in the wrong place and they sort of put you in a hold that would be in the wrong direction to then make an approach onto that runway, if it makes sense. So sometimes you've got to hold over at the airfield, which is great if you're landing on the other runway, but sometimes you need it to go in the other direction so you can make the procedural sort of approach. So I've amended some of them just because it sort of makes a bit more sense. For the sim, it just makes things setting up everything easier. So you can go into the hold, and then you pretty much set up straight away for another approach. So yeah, that's why they're not in the AIRAC, because they're company specific. And I've worked for airlines where you've just basically got to enter them manually, like what we do in the sim. But yeah, my current airline, unfortunately, has them in the database, so I don't actually have to do any work. I just got to press engine outside. Right, it seems smooth enough. You can never quite tell with this sort of cloud layer. Yeah, I might leave it a little bit until we're above all this. Obviously, the MSA is to the north. See this, so we're well over it now, but yeah, 10,000, been 25 miles, but it's sort of, yeah, it's all pretty high up here, which is all this terrain here. I don't know why we're crabbing a bit. What are we hanging out? Controls. Yeah. It's flying a bit pissed. Sometimes they do that. Right, above the MSA, that can go back to standard. If I can zoom in and see it. 0, 1, 3, thank you. Airports. Airports. I'll leave the secondary because again it could be quite useful if we need to go back. Red navs, that's done. Leave that in. Cost index goods. Fuel, yeah, so there we go. Fuel's increased a little bit, so still only just below CNR. Guard is no, I thought we had that. I thought we tuned guard. Maybe we didn't. Guard is on 2. Done everything else, that's done. Good, we're on the way. Yeah, definitely sort of rain shower to the south. Didn't really want to fly through that. Sometimes I've got my headset on and I just think I'm hearing barking in the background, but I'm not, I'm just literally hearing things. Yeah, you're right, Dark, actually. I mean, yeah, I think I noticed that. I think there were some Luton ones or something that there was some... it's probably something that I need to update, actually, need to go through. But you're right, there were some holds that have been removed, which has made it a bit useless because that document will basically refer you to go to somewhere and that waypoint may not even exist anymore. So, yeah, it's a good point. If I ever get time to do it, I probably need to go through all the UK airports and just make sure the holds that it says go to still exist. Because there's a good chance they don't. So a nice mountain range here. I can't actually remember what this is called. Sierra Nevadas, is it? I can't quite remember actually. You've got the cross to the north. God, my geography's bloody useless. I know Madrid's behind us, but that's about as far as it goes. Yeah, big sort of mountain ranges. Right, it seems smooth, doesn't it? We let him go. There we go. They're gone. Is this working? No. Oh, no. So yeah, something else that Phoenix will have to fix one day. When you press the all button, it should just go sequentially to the next page. It should go back to the cruise page in between. But, there we go. I'm sure, again, something I'm sure they're aware of. Right, I do have failures on as well. I'm pretty sure that's done. Config. Failures. Yeah, that's all on. So if we do get any failures, we have to deal with that. Like we normally do. Sierra Nevada and Pico de Europa. So you know it a lot better than I do, Andy. Am I type rated for any other aircraft? No, I'm not. I'm literally just on the 320. Unfortunately, well, I'd say unfortunately, it's less work if you just have to know one aircraft. You know, I didn't get opportunities. I mean, I may have had opportunities. My last company to go on the 330, but I didn't get a chance to go on that. So, you know, my last company had 330s, but yeah, I never did that one. So, and the 330 is just a big version of this, so it's just a little bit more robust. The hydraulics ever so slightly different. Obviously, the fuel system's ever so slightly different, but you know, they're very sort of similar aircraft. It's just a lot bigger and goes a lot further. But no, 320. Or 319s, 320s, 321s, that's all I fly. Which I'm quite happy with, to be honest. I wouldn't mind doing a bit of long haul, but it's, you know, it's a bit disruptive to family life. And, you know, to be honest, I get bored after about 3 hours. You know, 3 hours is about the maximum I can sort of do flight-wise. You know, I think sitting in an aircraft for about 11 hours doing long haul would probably bore me to death. Well, I know you get off at the other end and probably sit on the beach for about a week. Well, I mean, you used to. You don't do that anymore, but you know, that side of things is not too bad. But yeah, I don't do that, sadly. Ouch! My knuckles on my desk. Right, what's the temperature? -27. So yeah, I might be getting the anti-ice on in a second. So just a bit of high-level fluff. It's pretty common over Europe. Might just be sitting in the tops of this at 3-4 because we're quite low, because we're quite heavy. My dog's just looking at me. What are you doing? Oh, it's a big stretch. Oh, it's a big stretchy. So you're going to play with your brothers later? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go out with your brothers. Boy. Yeah, it's a tasty. Literally, we went 3 hours to get our dog to pick him up. He was yeah, about 3 hours drive away, and by pure coincidence, his brothers, two of his brothers, live about 10 minutes down the road. So we've got family members. He literally has his family members quite close. So yeah, we're going to go out for a nice little afternoon walk with his brothers later on. Chuck the balls around, let them have a good play. Oh, these bloody spam things. Yeah, I did the Nightbot thing. So I've updated a few things. If you put what is it specs? I've updated these things, so the specs should be more up to date now. And I did. There's something, isn't there, like a moderator or something, that should just stop these things from appearing, but they still bloody do it. There we go. So is that up to date? There's the RAM. Yeah, that's. Yeah, so now, yeah, so the specs are up to date now, so I've got the SSD in there. But yeah, the Nightbot should be automatically banning these things. Like, you know, I don't think you can say the F word. You know, somebody try and type the F word, see if it comes up. Well, yeah, well, you don't have to, but it shouldn't. It should automatically reject it, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it doesn't. No menu. What do you mean, dark? I need to obviously probably look at this a bit more detail. Right, going to go into it. So -35, air anti-ice gun on. High altitude landing button. Interesting. No idea what that does. Never. Well, I've actually flown aircraft this button. I've never actually used it. And get myself banned. Well, I wouldn't ban you, Andy. Yeah, maybe I could. Thing is, I don't want to do it because I'm swearing on my own stream, which is probably not very good, is it? But you know, I've set like a few, like there's a few sort of swear words, which are sort of food and drink, which should be sort of. If anybody knows how to use Nightbot, maybe they can help me or something. But yeah, I've done something which should stop it from happening, but maybe it's not. I was thinking about this the other day because we've got the fire suppression system on the cargo smoke, but we never actually test it. And there's no one in our SOPs that says we should be testing this. I did think the other day, I was like, well, surely we should be periodically testing this thing, but it doesn't actually say. Not something you want to hear in flight. Yeah, right, shut up. But yeah, I'm sure we should be testing this. You know, we do, you know, first flight of the day, we're doing engines. Oh, now what? Oh, shut up. Oh, bloody, I've broken it now, haven't I? Yeah, that's why we don't test it, because it causes problems. But yeah, normally I'm sure we should be testing this period. Maybe it's an engineer, maybe they do it on their dailies or something. Nightbot is easy. Yeah, I'll have to pick your brains later, Dark. The other thing I need to pick your brains with as well is Gav said about the speed for the RAM. He said, you know, the RAM should be fine. I've just got to adjust the speed in the PC settings somehow. Don't know how I'm going to do that, but he said I don't really need to worry about the RAM. It's just setting, is it BIOS or doing, I don't know, doing something where I need to maybe adjust the speed of it, rather than you sending me brand new RAM. Yeah, we're going to be right in the thick of this, aren't we? Oh, at least it's smooth. Alright, towards Domingo. Yeah, it's sort of thinning out a bit, it's not too bad. It's temperature 45 now. Ooh, dropped pretty quick, so anti-ice can come off. Don't have it on if we don't need it, because it just burns a bit extra fuel. I think you can do that in the buy-off fuel day. Yeah, I need to get maybe a cup of tea. I've got some squash. I need to do a sandwich. I got some went shopping this morning, so let's go do myself a bagel. So I will do that probably once I get to top of climb and done all the fuel. And hopefully Heathrow will behave. I mean, it's definitely a lot more stable, it's a lot more smoother panning around and doing everything else, so I have confidence that this PC is basically being fixed. You know, graphically wise, you know, and a bigger, beefier GPU would be great, but I mean, it's a little bit fuzzy. Apart from that, it's good. It's certainly good enough what I need to use it for. New update is expected this week. Changes the flight model plus sounds improvement. Is that a Phoenix update, John, or is that a flight sim? Alright, 3,000 to go. So I know there's a few people who have been talking about crosswind landings. Did Gav do a flight last night to Lille? And he messaged me, say have a look at it, because it was a little bit firm, I think. So yeah, I don't know if some people are just struggling. I know Gav says, you know, he's struggling to land it. It either doesn't flare or it does, and you float when you bounce down the runway. So yeah, there may be a little bit of a flight model issue, but I've noticed it to be quite soft. Back out start, like once it sort of touches down, it's sort of like a little bit bouncy, you know, a bit more bouncy than I'd expect. Because usually once you've landed and it's sort of, you know, it's on the runway. And this is all due to the flight controls as well, and the sort of right out cruise. Below. Yes, of course, as soon as one wheel touches, I think I'm trying to remember my FCOM technical knowledge now. As soon as one wheel touches and you're greater than 72 knots, which obviously you will be when you're landing, the spoilers sort of half deflect, I think it is, and then as soon as the other main wheel touches down, they then come up. So of course it kills all the lift, you know, pretty quickly. So of course, as soon as you sort of touch down and the wheels started to spin up and it's on the ground, and the oleo's compressed, the spoilers come up. And as soon as the spoilers come up, all the lift is dumped, and you know the aircraft just settles on the runway really nicely. So it doesn't really bounce back up because the spoilers are killing the lift. Where I'm not too sure if the real aircraft is modelling that perfectly. Maybe it's, you know, still just a little bit floaty when you touch down and a little bit squirrely. I mean, that might be me, but yeah, maybe they've still got a few things to do. Slamming every time or floating. Well, I've slammed it a couple of times, I think I have noticed my flare technique is maybe a little bit different to what it is in the real world, and I think that's half of that is due to because I don't really have the peripheral vision that I usually do, sort of off the left-hand side. You can sort of see that going down the left-hand side of the aircraft, and equally down the right because you've got the peripheral vision to do it, which you don't really have in the sim, unless I start adding monitors, which would be expensive. So I think half of that is just due to the lack of vision, and maybe just the way it feels. But I notice I start the flare at about sort of 40 feet. Just very slowly just start bringing it up, which is maybe a little bit earlier than what I'd normally do. So normally, certainly like the 321s as well, I'd start flaring at maybe sort of 20 feet, 30 at the very, very earliest, but sort of 20 feet maybe in the 321s, similar sort of 20 to 30 in the 320s, and obviously drop the power. But I can leave it a little bit later, maybe flare a little bit harder because I've sort of got that tactile feel. I can feel what the aircraft is doing through the seat as well. So, I've got a better feel for it in real life because obviously, I'm in the aircraft. Where because I don't have that sort of sensory feedback in the sim, both sort of, tactile feedback, sort of up and down, left and right through the seat, and then the sort of peripheral vision left and right. I do just flare ever so slightly, maybe earlier. So maybe a little bit of a slower flare and a little bit earlier. Maybe that helps people. Maybe sort of try it about 40 feet, 40 to 30, and just a sort of very gentle flare. And don't forget, you're not aiming to sort of touch down on the aim point. There's a big sort of misconception there, I think, with people. You've got the big white markers on the runway, which is your aim point. I think everyone's trying to think, well, I've got to grease it on that sort of points. You're not that. That's an aim point. It's where you're aiming to get the aircraft. Just scratch me here. You're aiming to get the aircraft there, but your touchdown zone extends, for another sort of, 300 or 400 feet, I think at least. So, just keep that aim point in the windscreen and then flare so that you land within the touchdown zone. You don't have to touch down on the aim point at all. That's not what you're trying to achieve at all. It's great if you do touch down there, but of course, some aircraft, the Pappies are set for a bigger aircraft. So if you land in a 747, you keep the aim points in the windscreen and then you flare. Where the Pappies will be 2 reds, 2 whites. But when you flare in a 747, the wheels are they're another sort of 80 feet behind you or whatever it is. So the wheels will touch down in the aim point because they're that much further behind you. But that's not quite the case in the Airbus. So yeah, don't panic if you're not touching down on the aim point. It's not really what you're trying to do. You just want to get down on the touchdown zone. Developer posts very detailed look into what issue they face in the flight dynamic, especially about the flare. I think it was about how much you pull back and the time the aircraft has changed. Is there so much pressure to be applied to the tyre sensor for the aircraft's pressure? Yeah, Dart. So you've got oleos. So there's a sensor. The LGC I use they will sensor the oleos extending and compressing. So they know when an oleo's compressed when you've touched down. But there's also a tachometer. So there's a tachometer in the actual wheel hubs, which that's all related to the anti-skid as well. So that's how the anti-skid works. It's all registering the wheel spin from the tachometer, so it knows obviously that the wheels are spinning up as well. So that's a sensor that goes into it. Yeah, there you go, Andy. So you sort of know what I'm on about. But yeah, the Airbus, it's not as big as big aircraft like 78 or 380, 74, etc. So when it comes to landing, hopefully you'll see it today. I just keep the aim points. You want to keep the aim point about a third of the way in the windscreen. Depends on the pitch attitude, which depends on the config, but as we know, config 3 still gives about 2.5 degree pitch at the minute. But keep the aim point about a sort of third of the way up in the windscreen, sort of somewhere around there. You just want to keep it static, which is basically known as a sort of constant bearing. And we use this on sort of when we learn to fly for collision threats. So if you've got an aircraft, so you've got an aircraft there in your your left windscreen, and it just stays there all the time, it's just a constant bearing, it means most likely you're going to hit it, because it might be sort of flying from left to right and you're flying that way, and because it doesn't move in the windscreen, it means it's a collision threat. You're actually probably going to hit the thing. Whereas if another aircraft's moving you know, which you see all the time. You see all, you know, whatever. You see them go past. Is because there's a lot of relative movement, so it's not a collision threat. But that same principle applies to landing. You know, if you keep the aim point fixed in the windscreen, it's then at a constant bearing, and that's what you're going to hit. You know, that's what you're aiming for. So yeah, you do that, and then, you know, obviously you flare at the last sort of, you know, 20-30 feet, and, you know, you land in the touchdown zone. But, you know, I think a lot of people don't quite understand how to sort of land aircrafts from a very sort of, I don't know, simplistic technical point of view. You know, some very simple things that we can employ just to help our landing technique. You know, a lot of it's nothing to do with the instrument or anything else. It's just using, you know, simply using the sort of visual picture. But, you know, people aren't taught this in the sim because obviously, you know, they may not learn to fly in real life. So, you know, sometimes they bypass all these sort of little sort of tricks of the trades that we use when we learn to fly very early on. And of course, you know, it can make it very difficult when they're sort of upgraded to the bigger aircraft. King of Turkey, how are you doing? Very good, mate. How are you? Right, so here's the north of Spain. I suppose we should have a look at a few things, shouldn't we? I'm waffling on as usual. So engines are good, bleeds are good. I've got to go get some lunch as well, I'm hungry. Electrics, hydraulics, all pretty much normal. This is pretty normal. If anybody doesn't know, the green hydraulic fluid lowers because all the green hydraulic fluid is sort of holding the landing gear up at the minute, so the sort of fluids decreases. So not losing any, that's perfectly normal. Fuel, we've just used about 2 tons, so 2 and 4.5, that's about 6.6, that's what we left with, and it's balanced, there's no leaks. APU's not on, which is a good thing. Pretty cool in the back, so that's fine. Girls in the back will tell us if it's too hot. Doors are good, wheels are up, and flight controls are all looking pretty sensible. So, where are we? Bilbao, just over the top of Bilbao. There we go, nice view. There it is. Down there. Don't think I've got the scenery for it, but yeah. I don't think I've ever actually been to Bilbao. So it's one place I've never actually been to that I can remember. What are we? 28 minutes in and 4.5 tons. So 28 and 4.5 is what we need. One second, Danny. Where are you? About 29 minutes. So I think so that's 4.2 plus the contingency is 200. So that's thinking about 4.4. So yeah, 4.4 is what we need, and we got 4.5. Yeah, so that's pretty good actually. That's pretty much spot on. So our fuel planning now, our actual fuel is now sort of married up with our fuel planning on the OFP. Really, really good. So on the ground, it's obviously not very happy. Doesn't like the fuel projections, the fuel planning. But now we've got 2.2. So yeah, we're pretty much bang on CNR, which I think was 2.1. Yeah, CNR for Gatwick 2.1. So good. We're about 100 kilograms up on CNR, which probably, you know, maybe just a shorter taxi. You know, it said 200 for 230 there, but I mean that was probably 100 kilograms we used, if that, because it wasn't a very long taxi at all. Who's talking to us? Somebody wants to know something. Were we late? Maybe. Possibly. Iberia ops. No EDC. We're on time. Perfect. Let's have a quick look at some weathers. AOC and 2. Quick look at Bilbao over the top of it. LEBB. Oh, I can't remember. Weather. Sorry, Danny. Post was also about the right wing stalling. A very short final. One transition going into the flare. Yeah, maybe the ground effects. This is where maybe ground effects not working perfectly well. Again, I don't know. You know, I don't think the landings are too bad. I mean, I've done a few landings in it now, and it all just behaves more or less how I expect. You know, I just flare maybe a little bit earlier than what I do in the real life, but you know, I can just adapt it, so it's fine. So we go. Oh, no, barely any wind in Bilbao. Is a bloody, yeah, never seen that before. All the 9s, bit of cloud, 31 degrees, nice and warm. That's good. So Bilbao's a good place. Let's have a look at Bordeaux, BD. Cavacay in Bordeaux, that's nice, nothing significant. Let's have a look at Nantes. LFRS. and those who do, that I can get the weather from the FB for Gatwick and Heathrow. Gatwick A25, good. So we know all the weathers up the west coast of France are perfect. Right. Just oh shit! What the fuck? I just. Oh, there's a plastic bomb. Thank God for that. I thought I just crushed bloody my work iPad or something. Just something for the dog. Did you mean to match the identical Iberia flight? Not exactly. I mean, I think it's the real world flight number, but I don't know if it's the real statement time is departure. It's very close. Oh, is it? There we go. I mean, that's just chance really. I wasn't actually aiming to do that. I just sort of saw a flight number. That will do. Right, I'm just going to disappear from it, guys. 5 minutes. I'm just going to do myself some lunch. So off the air a minute. I'll be back in a minute. And yeah, just enjoy the views for a second. So cheers. Right, I'm back, guys. Excuse me while I just masticate on a bagel for the next few minutes. So I'll try not to too much noise. I'll just silence it actually so you're not hearing me chomping. Nice, into it. Oh, pilot sounds good, Danny. I'm doing risotto tonight, which is very nice with chorizo and chicken. Yeah, I do like a good paella. Bit windy in Heathrow. Yeah, I think it is. I just looked at that weather and yeah, it's not looking a little bit windy. It's straight down the strip though. Right, that's better. I've finished eating. There's nothing worse than listening to somebody eat. It's like one of my bugbears. I watched British Bake-Off last night, for those of you British that know that. And this, even though I quite enjoyed the show, it's one thing I hate about cooking programmes, where they then sort of turn the microphone up to the person testing the food, and if they're eating something crunchy, all you hear is just like, you just think, oh, for God's sake, why do you have to do that? Like, you know they're eating it, but they don't necessarily have to put it on TV. Anyway, I silenced myself, so I didn't have to put you through that sort of ordeal of listening to me eat my lunch. Right, taxi, we're probably going to land on 09 left. Vacates, depends what way they go. They might go clockwise, anti-clockwise, probably clockwise, so probably off here. Kilo, is that open now? Interesting. I don't think the scenery's got that open, so it most likely would be Lima and go around the back. And Iberia now park on Terminal 3. So all the heavy stuff sort of parks up here, around here. All the Virgins up there as well, giggity. And we're probably in one of these stands down here, I'd imagine. So that's what we'll be planning to do. Arrival, what am I doing? It begins with an R, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I think. Goes to Ockham, and then there'll be a procedure from there. Which is that one there, actually. So we go from Ockham, make a left-hand turn. This is assuming ATC is not going to be online, and then go off to 09 left. In fact, what time? So we've got about an hour to go. What time are we landing? Because they stopped the runways open at 3. So we are just before 3. We're just before 3, and they generally use, from memory, if you're landed on 09 left, they usually use 09 left all the time. You don't usually depart from 09 left, they usually just keep you on 09 left to land and then depart on 09 right. So I expect it probably to stay on 09 left as arrival. It depends if that's on what they're doing, but it could be either. It could be either or. I mean, 09 right would actually be quite useful, but up to them if they want to do that or not. Question about order break. Obviously, runway like Heathrow would probably use no or low, but say for instance you're landing on the T9s, on the 9s, parking at T5, would you? You could do, Nick. Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in doing that at all. You know, you've got a few options really of what you want to do. You can either, use medium, and because obviously like a smaller Airbus like us, we probably have a get off at was it Alpha 8? I'm trying to remember. When I used to work here. I think Alpha 9 Whiskey was usually quite easy. We could use manual braking, just land and just get on the manual brakes pretty quick. If you've got brake fans, it's not too much of a problem, because you just put the brake fans on then. Depends on like the turnaround times, etc. But I mean, generally, yes, you could save a little bit. It's not, to be honest, it's not going to save an awful lot of fuel. You're going to save a tiny little bit. I mean, we're not going to be any retentive over, a few kilograms here and there. But it could save you a little bit of time. So, I mean, to be honest, once you've landed, you landed. The delays you incur after that is, that's just what it's going to be. But, yeah, you could, it's certainly a sort of thought process you can run through of using a slightly higher medium order brake. Right, that's not quite the procedure we want to do, so it should be in here via Ockham. Ockham. There we go, that's what we want to do. So if ATC aren't online, this is effectively what we'd expect it to do. And this procedure technically is non-radar. So if for whatever reason, I don't think it might have happened, but this is basically a non-radar approach, so without radar control. So if Heathrow, for whatever reason in real life, their radar went down and you were doing procedural stuff, everyone would be fed off and just be expected to do this and probably just report at certain points, so they got the separation. But as we're on VATSIM and we don't always have air traffic control on, this is a good way to sort of simulate that to a degree, and then just do this, because if we keep sticking to this, everyone knows kind of where we are and what we're doing, if everybody else does the same. Now, of course, the reality of that is generally sometimes a different thing, but yeah, that's what we're to keep in there. What else? Still need the 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, our SOPs are Christian, so that is correct for the SOPs that I use. Did we have to do that on the IAEs? I can't even remember now. I think it might have been different on the IAE engines, but I mean, so long ago I can't even remember. But 3 minutes, yeah, just stick to 3 minutes. You're probably golden. What do you think about the Inibuilds 310 coming to? I don't know, maybe a bit ambivalent, Andy. I mean, I don't know the aircraft. This is a thing. Like, there's a few aircraft that I would really like to learn to fly, both in the real world and in the sim. And to be honest, most of it's in the sim now, because half these aircraft don't exist. But Concorde was one. The 146. I do like that jet. I've got a lot of sort of, it takes me back to my childhood. I like the little 145, the Embraer 145. I think if a little 145 thing came out for the sim, that would be great. I think I'd be all over that, because I quite like that jet. So there's a couple of aircraft that I'd like to learn, but an Airbus, I don't know. I know the 310 would be probably quite intensive, because I know what the 310 was like, because previous airline I worked for had some 300s, and I know they're just you know, they're just full of buttons, and you know, everything on the eCam is basically backed up by another gauge somewhere. So there's just so much backup in everything, and you know, if it's quite you know, quite a sort of high fidelity mod, I just don't know if I could be asked. Like, to be honest, I don't know if I can be asked to learn that much for something that I'm probably not going to fly that much, to be perfectly honest. Which is a bit lazy. You know, I don't mind learning something if I really want to learn it, and I'll probably get something out of it. But I'm sure it'd be a very good product. I'm sure it'd be very good. I'm sure it'd be very realistic. I'm sure there'd be lots of things, and you know, be lots of things that people can do. But you know, am I going to get it? Probably not. You know, it's just money, which I'm probably not even going to bother spending. But you know, hey, if somebody offered it for me free to test, I could probably do it. But I wouldn't have a clue what I'm doing. That's the thing. Fully working sim integrated shared cockpit would be so good with high fidelity Concorde. Yeah, we probably need it, don't you, with the engineer station. I remember having the Concorde for, was it Microsoft's 2004 Centuria flight, and that was really, really good. I mean, that was pretty high fidelity because that had like a, you know, it was all 2D panel effectively, but that had an engineer station and everything. I sort of learned how to fly that pretty well. And that was quite good fun, you know, taking that across to sort of New York. Because I don't mind doing like a long haul flight if it takes 3 hours. I just want to sit on a sim for 14 hours flying between bloody Heathrow and Los Angeles. You know, I've got a bit of a life and other things to do, unfortunately, so I don't really have the time to do that. Got the DC Design Concorde. Yeah, I've heard again, like I'd be quite sort of keen to give it a go. I know you know, it needs the INS, it needs the old sort of what they called it, Carnival or whatever, INS. It needs that sort of thing that we had in the older Concorde, rather than just a sort of simple FMGC. Because I really enjoyed using that, I think, and the navigation and updating the navigation position based on VORs, and I quite like that fidelity because flying the aircraft was relatively straightforward. To be fair, you just bloody point it in the direction you want to go and put the thrust on. But you know, keeping the aircraft up to date with the navigation, and you know, that's where I thought the nice challenge was. But you know, that was me. Right, so we got traffic thingamajigs online, have we? Has London Control gone? Looks like London Control's gone. Oops, my iPad's just fallen over. Oh yeah, I'm almost identical, aren't I? I'm very close to where the real world aircraft is. That's quite spooky, really. Yeah, that was not through design, that's just by pure chance that's happened. Let's get this back up. Can't see what's going on. Seaver, that's it. Yeah, well done, Nick. It has got the INS, so it has, is it? So I think when it came out it didn't, did it? But oh yeah, there's the 747-200 as well. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, I did quite enjoy that. There was pushback. Was it request pushback 747? I guess it's going back 20 odd years now. But yeah, that had quite a complex 747 with a you know, flight engineers panel and the CV INS. And yeah, I did enjoy that. I enjoyed. I mean, this. I mean, at the end of the day, this is bloody easy, and you just plug the route in, press go, and you're done. You're there 2 hours later. So I mean, there's not much thought involved in these things. You just sit here staring at the screens and looking out the window for a few hours until something bings at you and goes wrong, or you get somebody in the back causing mischief. But you know, those aircrafts that, you know, they were sort of proper. You know, you got to think about it. You got to set things up. Everything's got to be flown correctly. It needs to be quite accurate, and you know, I did like that sort of old school style of flying where it's a little bit more involved. Anyway, let's have a quick look at what we're doing. Waffle on all day about this sort of stuff. So weather we know is good. So 080 at 15, so straight down the strip. Good viz, no clouds, 16 degrees, 1018 now. It's just gone down actually. There we go. 1018. So QNH is dropping a little bit, which is sort of, you know, what happens with some strong winds. Put you on 1018. So that's the big threat today, I suppose, winds, but it's straight down the strip and it's not that strong, so it's not really a major threat. The alternate's very similar, same sort of conditions, so we know it gets the alternate if there's any problems getting into Heathrow. The route is in. We're doing this Bocox. I have to check the constraints. Bocox 1 hotel, which basically finishes at Ockham's. Ockham's the clearance limit points. Hold there if we've got no clearance. Flight level 70 is the lowest we can go. 130 looks like the first constraint we got on the arrival, and then with no ATC we'll do this sort of initial approach from Ockham. So a left-hand turn off to the sort of west for about 8 miles, then go north and then come back in for the ILS on 09 left. 09 left I think is in the box. Pretty straightforward ILS, nothing really too complicated. 2,500 feet to platform, 3-degree glides, all pretty normal. DME is co-located as you would expect. Minimum's 279. Let's have a quick look at that. It's 279 in the box. 279 is a Cat 1 conditions. That's fine. 279. Come on, dickhead. Secondary I'll copy and I'll put 09 right in, just in case we do that. So hopefully that's all the same. Welcome, good. So 09 right is in there. Weather's good. And what's the minimum for 09 right? 275, so a few feet less. So there we go, we've got both options for both runways, but expecting 09 left anyway. 09 right, if we do it, climb straight ahead 3000, so missed approach for that. MSA is pretty good, 3000 is nice and safe. And 09 left is one we're going to be doing, so a little bit different. This one straight, climb straight ahead, and then a left hand turn 036, 3000. So 3000s for the both, but that one's going to go left if we need to go around on that one. There's not really much else to say on there, that's pretty normal stuff. Vacating, probably expect to vacate on the right hand side, Alpha 9 Whiskey, Alpha 8, Alpha 7, any one of these, and then probably the long way round. I won't go down Kilo because I don't think the scenery's got that for Kilo, I'm fairly sure it doesn't. Probably Alpha Lima and then Bravo, and then into Romeo there, and I'll do one of these stands, 313, 311, one of those, as long as it's not blocked. If that's blocked then we might just have to wait or find somewhere else, but somewhere on Terminal 3. So that's all that done. It's all in the box. Radnavs, don't really need anything. India Alpha Alpha's the ILS. Let's have the runway. EGGG, LL 09 left. Perf we've done. And it's all managed in the descents. Those are good speeds. Yeah, pretty heavy actually, so a little bit heavier than what we usually are. So relatively high approach speeds. Config 3. Low order brake will be fine. Go around's all in, that's fine. Fuel. So yeah, got a little bit of extra fuel, which is kind of what we planned. Basically plug fuel, so we've got a contingency now. So an extra 200, so 10 minutes. So really enough to give it another go. Sort of, but it's nice weather and we've got 2 runways, so I'm quite happy to commit to Gatwick to Heathrow anyway. So we're only going to start looking at Gatwick if we can't get into Heathrow for whatever reason, if both runways are closed. So yeah, if we do have to go around due to high winds, wind shear, anything else that I don't like, basically we can just sort of ignore Gatwick and commit, and then we've got an extra 41 minutes, 1.4, before we're anywhere near final reserve. So yeah, I think Heathrow's going to be fine. Secondary is 09 right, as we said. So I don't think there's much else really to brief. Don't think ATC, I think they've disappeared unfortunately. So we just have to do it ourselves. See how busy it is and just vector ourselves around. Just like confirmed 747 Classic comment. Oh, that'd be good. That'd be interesting. Yeah, see, really to sort of fly these sort of bigger aircraft, long-haul aircraft, I just need a lot more time to myself to do it. I don't. So, have you landed at Fukuoka, Japan? I haven't, Glenn. No, I haven't actually. I've been a bit lazy. I haven't really ventured outside of Europe. But one of the streams I might do this week, I was sort of planning to do maybe something in America, so maybe like JFK down to St. Martin, and maybe do like an American aircraft flight, I don't know, or somewhere maybe that's JFK to Los Angeles, or I mean that's probably quite a long one, but do something a bit different. I don't doubt there'd be any ATC online to do that, but yeah, just go somewhere different. you know, just explore around a little bit. I was in the sim the other day before I went to work last week, just looking at these random sort of points of interest, just because, you know, it was quite interesting. And, you know, now the sim's working, now it's loading a lot quicker as well, because I've got this SSD in rather than the hard drive. You know, it loads so much faster. It loads in sort of like, you know, 60, 90 seconds or whatever that is, where before it was like sort of 4 or 5 minutes. So of course it just wasn't even worth my time to sit there for an hour looking at a few places, because it takes so long to load up. But it is a little bit quicker now, so I can sort of do things. 350 would be incredible. Yeah. But the 350 is so complex, believe this. Well, the 350, I mean, if somebody just ripped off fly-by-wire's 380, it's basically the 380 just with 2 engines. I mean, that's basically what the 350 is. So the systems, you know, the AFBs, you know, the screens are all, you know, fairly identical. So, yeah. There seems to be a direct correlation between your streams and increase in team calls. Okay, sorry, Mark. You need to have a word with them and tell them to bugger off, so you've got more important things to do. That's fine, it's all recorded, you know, you just watch it back later. You know, I need to watch Gavin's landing back a little bit after this and give him a bit of feedback. I think, did he message me? I can't actually remember if I remember to reply to him. What did he say? Oh yeah, he nailed the touchdown zone, yeah. Was that his second touchdown though? I can't remember. He's sending me videos of the replay of his landing yesterday in Lille. Because I did have a look at it. It was a little bit bouncy, wasn't it? But I think, like, this is what I said to Gav, is the problem is I think the pappies don't always align with your glide slope in the sim, and that's a simism. You know, that's sort of something that is known. So, you know, when you're landing, I think he had payware scenery. So, you know, I'd expect to be a little bit better with payware, but even with that, you know, if the pappies aren't directly in aligning with your glide slope, you've got to sort of basically make a conscious decision and go, well, am I going to follow the pappies or am I going to follow this? Because if you follow this, the glide slope or the VDEV bar, if it's an RMP approach, you know, there's always a chance you may land a little bit long and outside the touchdown zone if the pappies are in the correct place. So, you know, I said to Gav, I said 99% of the time I go to the pappies, and if I start getting a glide slope warning, it's because this is wrong probably, and this is slightly misaligned to what it should be. But, you know, usually the pappies are aligned next to the touchdown zone, so the pappies on the left hand side of the runway are usually the correct thing to look for. So I think once you're visual, if you just sort of transition to looking at the pappies and keep that sort of 2 reds, 2 whites, rather than focusing too much on your VDEV bar or your glide slope, you know, you probably land in the touchdown zone a bit better, and you won't end up chasing things. So, you know, that's kind of what I do. Got the race start, but had my ICDL exam to deal with before coming back in. Ooh, what's that, Sean? That sounds complicated. Do you know, I hate exams. Yeah, I still get nightmares. I still get nightmares about my dissertation, because, you know, I basically dropped that to the entrance of Office World when I was in university, and, you know, God knows how many pages just went loose in the entrance to Office World. You know, when I was making copies of my dissertation, so I still get nightmares about that. And, you know, I hated university anyway, so it was pretty crap. I just hated it. But I hate exams. And yeah, I do still sort of have flashbacks and nightmares of exams, and just thinking, oh my god, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore. You know, there's still the odd little tech quiz we've got to do at work and various other things, and, you know, sort of self-reading of things in the FCOM. But I mean, it's so much more bloody easier. You know, real life when you don't have exams to do is, you know, a lot more easier. But yeah, I mean, you know, some people do. I mean, our next door neighbour, she's a doctor, and she's still doing exams, and, you know, she's in the military as well. I mean, you think, God, just constantly learning, constantly being tested on things. And I suppose, I mean, we do get tested. We go in the sim, and, you know, we do things in the sim, which I suppose is still sort of an exam, isn't it? But it's a lot more practical. You know, and generally, once you've got your sort of framework of how you deal with failures and how you deal with the crew and how you manage everything, including the first officer and the rest of it, you know, it gets easier. You know, the systems upgrade and change over time, but yeah, I'm grateful I don't have to do that anymore. Right, do we have an ATC? Every time I seem to come back, the ATC always seems to bugger off. I'm not that lucky with it. Got Heathrow approach, or at least we've got Heathrow approach. How long are they going to stay on longer for? 19725. Guaranteed bugger off about 10 minutes before I land. I suppose that's the curse of flying this time of day, isn't it? Is I don't really fly when people are maybe online. So if I was flying in the evening, I'd be getting divorced because the missus would be not particularly happy. Right, have I done anything? I think I've done most things. I think that's ready. I think we're ready to go down. Too steep path ahead, sort of. I'm sure it isn't. You're lying to me. If you are, I can sort it out. Hydraulic failure. Yeah, nice. Hydraulics aren't too bad, to be fair. I mean, it's, you know, your big ones, your green and yellow. You know, there's a nice little rhyme: green and yellow, not stopping the fellow. Green and blue, flies like poo. Blue and yellow is not really that bad because you still got, you know, a few things, redundancies off the green system. But you know, losing one isn't really a major issue. I mean, you know, if I lost a green hydraulic system now, I'd just carry on to Heathrow. You know, you'd have a faff around the gear and the gravity gear and a few other things, but you know, losing one hydraulic system isn't a major thing. It's only a land ASAP amber. You know, so if you're pretty close to your destination, you're fairly probably kind of happy to commit. You know, unless there's a maintenance basin you might want to dive into. But you know, dual hydraulics, yeah, they're a bit more important. You know, land ASAP red, so you want to get on the ground pretty quickly. Because you know, you lose all three hydraulics and that is it. You know, there is no way of controlling this aircraft if you lose all three hydraulics apart from using thrust, and the chances of surviving that are pretty slim. So you know, hydraulic failures aren't major issues. They just require a bit of thought, really. You know, it's a bit easier to pilot as well, obviously, because you know, it depends who's flying it, depends who's dealing with it. They can run through the ECAM. You know, do the QRH drill, etc., and you know, do a landing distance calculation. But I mean, generally, it's pretty straightforward. What's known as European Computing Driving License, but because of Brexit, it's now called the International Computer Driving License. Just a course to get competent on the Microsoft Office packages. Oh, okay, well, it's not that too bad, is it? If that's all you got to do, just get competent on the Microsoft Office. I mean, to be honest, I'd probably still fail something like that. I'm not that competent on Microsoft Office. Sounds like another way of, you know, it's another way of somebody to print money, isn't it? So North Coast of France, you got Saint-Machan Mount over here somewhere. So you go up to Cherbourg. Is this St Malo? This is St Malo down here. Possibly where a lot of ferries go from. I remember as a child, actually, we missed the ferry we were going to get on at Cherbourg. We missed it. We had to drive all the way down to St Malo, and we only just got on the ferry to get back home. So I remember doing that with my mum and dad as a younger child many years ago. Used to do a complete hydraulic failure stream. Yeah, it won't last very long, Dart. We'll be on the ground pretty soon if that happens. Can you even do complete hydraulic failures? You do hydraulic failures, you can do, but I suppose you can manually do it, can you? Is it hydraulics? Green, uranium, blue. Yeah, I suppose you could. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't even like to see how that goes. I mean, you are up, you know, you are up shit creek, basically, if that happens. Because there's no, even though there's mechanical connections, you've got a mechanical connections currently, there's going to be an update on this soon. So we're losing the FACs. The newer aircraft are supposedly losing the bloody FACs. So we're going from 7 flight control computers to 5. But it's the FACs that control the rudder. And there is a mechanical linkage between the rudders and the rudder, the actual rudder actuators, but you know, they're still powered hydraulically. So if you lose hydraulic power, you know, you still haven't got any control over your rudders either. You know, all your flight controls are going to be locked in that position. Your trim is going to be locked in that. Don't forget, we took off with. What do we take off with? All right, near the green band here. So yeah, we took off with a relatively neutral, in fact, a slightly nose down pitch input, but we've got a pitch input of up. So you know, if all this would be frozen, so you'd have a nose up stab. So you'd have to somehow, and then you put the, you know, if you put, well, you wouldn't be able to put the flaps down at all, but you know, you'd be fighting a nose up moment on the stab all the time. And of course, you'd have a thrust couple as well. You'd have a thrust couple sort of wanting to pitch you up. You'd have a stab that's wanting to pitch you up when you get lower down. I mean, it's just an absolute can of worms. I am flying in VATSIM. Elk, yeah, it is on VATSIM. It is very quiet, but I am there. I'm there somewhere on the system, on the grid. Who's that? Oh, Scottish has come online. Yeah, brilliant. Scottish has come online. And nobody's bloody there, really. There's a few people. I'm in the Matrix. But, oh god, yeah, triple hydraulics. I mean, it would be quite fun to do in the sim, just to sort of see, you know, from cruise, just if you get any chance of sort of landing. But it's going to be a difficult one, that. I need to look at the replay tool as well. I do have the replay tool, Sky Dolly, but I don't know how to use it. I think I've downloaded it. Oh, there's an application there, maybe. Yeah, I've got no idea how to use the. It's one thing I need to learn over the next couple of days. I need to put the wing views in, the views for the cabin, and I need to put like the replay tool or something. I can spawn at Gatwick and do a few circuits if that makes it any way more interesting. With my landings. Well, I'm not landing at Gatwick, that's the thing. Help. You know, I'm landing in Heathrow. So, I'm not going to Gatwick unless I really have to. Yeah, Heathrow approach, yeah, I think they're on. They're definitely on, but I don't think London or anybody else. Have they got an ATIS? That's one thing I needed to look at. Gatwick ATIS is there. Heathrow. Yeah, that's, how can I read that? Ugh. So information, time, automatic. Kilo. Oh, it's information kilo. I've managed to get that at least. Kilo. 09 left. Yeah. 00 at 15. 10Ks. No clouds. 16. Pilots are reminded that reback instructions are ATC. Pilots are reminded that reback of ATC instructions and clearances are mandatory. Pilots are to exercise caution when manoeuvring on the runway holding areas. Clearance is not assured. Can't read the rest of it. Fine, yeah, okay. We have kilo. How's the banner? Is the banner still going? Yeah, the banner didn't work last time, or the landing rate didn't work, so I was hoping that's going to be updated. Right, so we need rocks. Hazel 130. There's the approach. There's the south coast. Jersey is. Oh, Jersey's just off the left. Jersey. Jersey cows. Sienna White's down here. Bournemouth, I think that is. Southampton. Gatwick. KK, there's Gatwick. And Bristol. God knows what the rest of these probably grass strips, aren't they? Probably. 44 people, 41 watching. That's pretty good. Still a long way off from 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for the 356 that have subscribed. As always, if you like my ramblings and waffle, then give it a like, subscribe, etc., etc. The DevTool replay. Oh, cool. Okay, okay. Is that the one? Is it in here? It's in the options. I have seen that. I don't think I'll switch it on, but yeah, I need to have a play. I do need to have a play with the replays and try and get it sorted. How much fun it would be if London Controller was controlling. Yeah, yeah. Well, if I do speak to him, I might try my Spanish accent. My Miguel accent.
Hello sir, it's Iberia 31 Golf Romeo. We are descending flight number 130 to Hazel.
I will try, just for giggles.
My name is Manuel. Is it Manuel or Sam Manuel? I don't know.
Yeah, don't I need 1,000 subscribers for donations to art? See, I don't know anything about bloody YouTube. That's a problem. Buenos dias. Buenas mañana. Right, where is 5 minutes to go down. God, I feel like it's got something to do. It's like panning around. It's like What have I missed? I've always forgotten something. Go and say hello to people. No. Can't open it. Oh, is it closed? Yeah. Unlock. Sod you then. I won't go out there. He is from Barcelona.
Okay. I name him Basil.
Some people just not have a clue what I'm talking about. Have they gone? Oh, we got now. Approach. It's just still the approach. Okay. Best be. Yeah. I've got my pen. No, I've got that now. I mean, my desk. I need to tie this up. My missus is going to kill me one day. I've got crap everywhere. I've got. I need to check that. Actually, I did send something back to using Hermes recently, and I haven't got my money back from what I sent back yet, so I need to double check that. Right, what else is there to do? Not much. Right, well, let's whack it in then, because we're going down in a second. 130. Yeah, 130 by Hazel. Top of drop is, where is it? 23 miles away. We're off. My arms are too short to reach the door. Yeah, they are. Thanks, Manic. Yeah, Gavin's my little protege. I don't know. Put it this way, Gav knows. Well, what Gav doesn't know is probably not worth knowing now, but I've made it my job to teach him, which he's done very well. Very studious. Right, fuel's transferring over, which is good. So we've got actually done a little fuel check, really, shouldn't we? So Rev 2, what was that? Actually, Bolro. Bolro is going to be in the next minute or two. It's 116 and 2.9. Get very lazy by fuel checks. Bolro 118, 2.4, 2.6-ish, yeah, so a couple hundred up in CNR again, which is good. Time's looking good as well. And 3.6 and 2 point, that's about 3.6, isn't it? So yeah, there we go, no leaks, it's balanced. I got crap everywhere, every single flight, so yeah. Well, one thing I did want to do, actually, I don't know if I get time to do it today. Maybe, maybe not. I wanted to do like a little video on my sensitivities, so I've got to try and find out how I'm going to do this in terms of doing a video. It's not going to be a stream, it's going to be like a recording, I think, but I can take photos of like my setup, you know, how I've actually set my PC up, because I've got my side stick next to me. My side stick's on a what is it, bedside table thing, so it's about 50 centimeters high. I've been quite specific with this because it's about the right height for what it is in the sim. It's about the right height for what it is in the real aircraft. So right, let's start going down. Alright, attempt 130 blue. So I've got my side sticks on the left of me. I don't have an armrest, which is one thing I could do with. I've got my thrust levers to the right of me. That's on a little 10 quid IKEA, again, like metal bedside table thing, which is doing the job. And then obviously the PC in front of me. So all my controls, including my rudder pedals, are kind of how they would normally be in real life. And I wanted to do like a sort of a little quick video maybe of just what my sensitivities are for the side stick, for the rudders. I mean, the thrust levers, aren't they? But just so there's something for people to refer to, because, you know, a lot of people are saying, oh, I can't land, the sensitivity is too high or whatever. And I think mine are set up pretty well. You know, it flies pretty normally for me. You know, and I think once you've got the sensitivity set at, and sort of consistent, you don't change them, then all you've got to do is just learn how to sort of fly it. Is it tough changing from the sim to real? It's not hard going from the sim to real life, Wally, because you've got a lot more sensory feedback. So there's a lot more like tactile feel of what the aircraft's doing. Obviously, it's 2 crew as well. and you just revert to type, you know, what role you're in, PF or PM, whatever you're doing. So actually going to the real life is actually really easy because we've been doing it for donkey's years. So you know, that's just sort of ingrained, I suppose, in your muscle memory. It's sometimes a little bit harder. It's funny enough, it's harder going to the sim from real life because everything's set up ever so slightly differently. Single pilot ops, you know, you've got to set the PC up and get everything right. So yeah, actually going to the sim is sometimes a bit harder. Am I using a yoke? No, I'm not. No, I don't have a yoke because I'm an Airbus pilot, so I've got the Airbus side stick, which sort of works for me. But you know, if I was going to do different aircraft, you know, getting a yoke would be quite cool. I didn't want that one. What's that one? So we've got Scottish Heathrow. I might speak to him in a second. Should we speak to him and have a laugh and see when they want us to speak to him? I suppose I'm coming on the approach. It's going to be relatively soon. Alright, that's over to
Heathrow approach. 47 Golf.
47 Golf, Heathrow director.
Yeah, DC6 again. That DC6. You know, there's too many things in the DC6.
Heathrow director,
I can't be asked.
Golf.
Yeah.
Ready to copy.
Too many buttons. You know, you got to turn 50 buttons before you even start taxi.
Band number and aircraft type.
Stand by, Calm 47 Golf.
Right, it's getting serious now. We've got to speak to people. What is it?
Heathrow approach, but this is Iberia 31 Golf Romeo with descending flight level 130 under Rockox 1 Hotel. Probably sounds more Vietnamese, but...
Heathrow director, Calm 47 Golf. We're at stand...
And he ignores me. It's all of that, and he just ignores me.
We're at stand 419 and a Boeing 737-600.
They don't like Concorde or VATSIM. Probably not.
Calum 47 Golf cleared to skip all Brookman Park 6 Juliet departure, squawk 5.
Hello, buddy. You're right. You're right.
Clear to Amsterdam via the Brookman Park 6 Juliet departure and squawk 5753. Calum 47 Golf.
Yeah.
Calum 47 Golf next to squawk 5013.
5013, Calum 47 Golf, thank you.
Calum 47 Golf, correct.
The Heathrow approach, Japan DST, Iberia 31 Golf Romeo.
That's all Chinese. He's probably looking at me thinking, who the fucking hell is that?
Heathrow approach, Speedbird 181 taxi, runway.
Or he's watching and he knows I'm trolling him. That's it.
Speedbird 181, Roger, taxi, right Alpha, hold November Bravo 8.
Sounded like an Asian pilot. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, my accent's not very good.
We'll go right November Bravo, and then Alpha, hold short 9 right, Speedbird 181.
It'd turn into a Welsh Pakistani in a minute, I guarantee it.
Bravo 8.
Hold at Bravo 8, Speedbird 181.
Speedbird 986, press push and start.
Speedbird 986, stand 258, push and start, approved, face south.
Push start, approved, face south, Speedbird 986.
Sorry, I'm just going to wait until he pings me. And when he pings me, I'll do it.
Heathrow approach,
Don't want to hear my German pilot. No, you probably don't. That won't be very good.
Direct Bigham.
363 Heathrow direct, hello, Roger, report aircraft flight.
Well, we know Occam's the clearance limit point, so we're not going to go further than that anyway without speaking to him.
Roger, information feed we're just levelling at flight level 70.
There we go, get rid of that. 130 070.
Occam.
He's probably going to want to squawk as well.
04, Speedbird 363.
If you say Scorchio.
Scorchio.
Please begin heading 270, Speedbird 363.
Come on, buddy. Alright, fuel wise, so we got just under 3 tons. You ever had Munich before? Have I ever had Munich? Oh no, I've been to Munich, yeah. It's a bit... Alright, so just about keeping up with the profile. Speed should come back shortly. I don't think there's any speed constraints. No, 220 maximum at Ockham, that's it. Should be in there. Yeah, it is. Alright, we going for any of this. Maybe a little bit anti-ice is coming on. So Heathrow's not too far, it's just sort of off the nose now, just over here somewhere. Probably that there, maybe.
Super 96, request taxi.
0986, taxi right Alpha, hold Hawker.
Lima, right on Alpha and hold at Hawker, Super 96.
Can you do a northern voice? E up, maybe. I can try that if I want. The only thing I know about northerners is they like chips and gravy. That's about it.
Probably Speedbird 181. Are we getting full length or no?
Search 181. What are your performance requirements?
Alright, 1,000 to go.
We need full length if anything, because we want that 155 and we're very heavy, so.
Search 181. Roger, hold position.
Hold a position, Speedbird 181.
Spin a star. Yo. And so 70 is in. Speed out constraints. Go to the top of that. 70 blue des. Right, shall I try again? I think it's just ignoring me.
Approach, good day, Austin. Port Charlie Echo descending 250 Logan.
Made an app as an FO from pre-file text, French human voices.
Report aircraft type and passing level. It's information kilo.
Information kilo. We're passing
yeah, I'm not great at accents, I did say
Logan
that.
in 15 miles.
Austin for Charlie connecting, report current level.
Current level 260.
Austin for Charlie Echo, Roger, descend flight level 250 level by Logan.
250 Logan, Austin for Charlie Echo.
Oh, no, Ockham is 328 right turns, just in case he throws us in there for some reason.
Heathrow Airport, Cello, it's Iberia 31 Golf Romeo, descending 70 to Ockham.
Oh, I think he's discovered my ruse, I think. I'm going to have to just speak to him normally. How's going on with that pressurisation? Heathrow Approach, very good afternoon to Iberia 31 Golf Romeo, descending flight level 70, going for my information. Kilo.
30 track miles, runway 09 to left, descend to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1017.
Set 4,000 feet, QNH 1017, Speedbird 360.
Austrian 4 Charlie Echo, descend flight level 160 level by Sabre.
160 Sabre, Austin for Charlie Echo.
Oh, it's just pathetic, this, isn't it, Harry? Yeah, I'm going to stop. Heathrow Approach, Iberia 31 Golf Romeo, ready, check. He's not actually, I don't know if he's hearing me or whether he's just being a twat.
Spirit 181, taxi straight ahead, hold November Bravo 11.
Taxi straight ahead, hold November Bravo 11, Speedbird 181.
Yeah, I've been trying to call you, buddy, but you're not listening. Heathrow approach, hello, East Iberia 31 Golf Romeo, got information kilo, direct to Ockham.
Speedbird 986, hold November Bravo 8.
Hold November Bravo 8, Speedbird 986.
You'll
Right, I'm putting this in because until we can sort this communication problem out, I'm not doing anything. No transmit. So why is he not hearing me?
Heathrow Pro Speedbird 181, ready for departure, 9 right.
Yeah, I'm doing text at the minute, Sean. I'm just trying to... Heathrow approach.
Direction Calum 47 Golf, ready for push start.
Because the...
747 Golf, stand 419, push and approved.
I know why.
Push start approved.
I've been a dickhead. I'm on box 2. Nah.
Spirit 906 from November Bravo 8, runway 09 right, surface wind 090 degrees 16.
So if I shut that up...
Takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Speedbird 986.
Oh, this might help.
One line up, runway 09 right, caution 1 intersection departure ahead.
I'm still on 2. Ah, for goodness sake.
9 right, we'll caution that wait turbos from departing A320.
So there you go, get your radio sorted.
Spirit 363, turn right.
What a knob.
36 degrees, descent altitude 3,000 feet.
Right, heading 360 down to 3,000 feet. Speedbird 360.
Right, try it again.
Good evening, sorry, good afternoon, Heathrow approach, Speedbird 221.
Yeah, it wasn't the PT2, it was me being a twat with the radios.
Heathrow director, hello, report aircraft height and passing level information.
Right, anyway, 220 knots, 70, taking up the hold at Ockham to speed and see what he wants us to do. Anti-ice, I think. Why is that keep coming up?
1201.
Heathrow approach. Oh, for God's sake. Heathrow approach, hello, easy, 3-1 Golf Romeo.
Bye-bye. Iberia 3-1 Golf Romeo, Heathrow director, hello, roger, report aircraft type and passing level, information Lima.
Thanks very much, information Lima, 320 and 70.
Iberia 3-1 Golf Romeo, squawk 1016.
1016, Iberia, Golf Romeo.
So 363, turn right, heading 06 degrees, west
1016. Why am I getting feedback?
Left, descend on the glide path.
I don't understand that.
Right heading 060.
I don't want feedback, I can hear what I'm saying.
Speedbird 363.
Flight 181, runway 09 right, surface wind 090 degrees 16 knots, clear for takeoff.
09 right, clear for takeoff, Speedbird 181 heavy.
Iberia 3-1 Golf Romeo, turn left heading 270 degrees.
Left 270 degrees, Iberia 3-1 Golf Romeo.
0221, leave Ockham heading 270 degrees, descend flight level 70.
Speedbird 221, my apologies, can you repeat your information, please?
0221, leave Ockham heading 270 degrees, descend flight level 70.
Descend flight level 70 and heading 270,
Right, how do I get rid of that annoying
leave Ockham heading
turn
270
VH shuffle
degrees.
one off? Yeah. See if that helps.
Leave Ockham 270 degrees.
I've never had to do that before. Mind you, I've not really been on VATSIM very often.
Past 2,200 feet, Speedbird 986.
986, climb now, flight level 150.
150, Speedbird 986.
Oh, I didn't get to outstanding with my brilliant Spanish impression because I was an idiot with the wrong radios. See, attention to detail. Or lack of. Anyway, we got loads of fuel, that's fine, 2.6, we're above CNR, we're happy to commit. Wind's not too bad. He said it was Lima now, so it'll be interesting to see what Lima is. Let's have a quick update.
There's 181, report passing altitude.
We're passing through 1,000 for,
0015, 16 0 weights.
Good 181, roger, climb to altitude 6,000 feet.
Up to 6,000, speaker 181.
Sort off.
So 363, runway 09 left, center spin 09 degrees, 16 knots, clear to land.
Please land 09 left, speaker 363, thank you.
So we get out here, and
Clear
then
down
radar
right,
vectors.
Unicom 122 decimal, bye-bye.
Unicom 122 decimal left, spin 986, goodbye.
Getting very dark.
Iberia 3 Golf Romeo, turn left heading 220 degrees.
Left 220 degrees, easy 31, go for a minute. Yeah, that's annoying.
02228 track miles, runway 09 left, descent altitude 4,000.
Just strap them in, maybe.
1017.
Poor passengers.
QNH 1017, 4,000
Pivot 181, turn right heading 280 degrees.
Right 280, speaker 181.
Comp 2 still on. See, is that...
Director count 47, Golf.
Maybe that's why, maybe because...
Calum Forson Golf, taxi left Sierra, hold Sierra 11.
Let's change that to something
Left
different.
Sierra and hold Sierra
Maybe because
11,
Comp
okay,
2 was
47
on it as well. Maybe that's why I was hearing myself. See, this is what I was saying, it's harder in the sim than it is in real life, because you've got to faff around with things that is usually second nature. Turn that off as well, yeah, good shout. Turn it off, hopefully that'll source it. Can we see Heathrow? It's over here somewhere. Somewhere over there, don't know. Oh well, what a faff that was.
Pivot 181, climb now, flight level 130.
Up to 130, it's up, no, speaker 181.
QNH gone up, I think.
Iberia 31 Golf Romeo, turn right heading 270 degrees.
Right, 270 degrees, easy 31 Golf Romeo. That's better. It's because I had it on box 2. See, I'm such a bloody novice at this. The sim. It's gone down, 1017 now.
Navigation direct Kenneth.
1017.
Resume own navigation direct Kenneth, speaker 181.
Pivot 221, turn right heading 360 degrees.
Turn right, 360, speaker 221.
Alright, extend that's outbounds, what's that?
Iberia 31 Golf Romeo, 30 track miles, runway 27 left, descent to altitude 4,000 feet. QNH cushion 09 left, descent altitude 4,000 feet. QNH 1017.
Descent 4,000 feet, QNH 1017, Iberia 31 Golf Romeo. Come on, what are you doing? Yeah, Jesus. This is all wrong.
I'll read the car 122, that's what I see, speaker 181. Sorry about that.
Why have you done that? It should be... what have you done? It should be extending the centre line. I don't know what it is. Should draw a centre line out. Anyway, 4000's QNH 1017, go on. Is cross-check 4000 is blue. Approach check, seat barrier QNH 1017, seatbelts are on. Minimum is barrier 279. Order brake is low and EFBs are stowed and disconnected. Yeah, I should be able to do a direct to centre fix. 269, is it going to work that way? It's slightly different, it does it that way, okay. Then puts the centre fix in. 18 odd miles, so 18 miles, 6,000 feet, we're pretty much there. Approach phase is activated. 220. Should have been at 220 knots, I think.
221, turn right heading 060 degrees. When established on the localizer, runway 09 left, descend on the glide path.
So I was faffing around so much trying to be a Spanish person, I've got to do everything else. Right, India Alpha Alpha is identified. We'll be turning right in a second, I think. Just keep it coming down. Easy, yeah, sorry Harry's bloody force of habit. Speaking of has anyone had VHF free voice thing appear on ECAM?
Iberia 3-1 Golf Romeo, turn right heading 005.
Right turn 005, Iberia 3-1 Golf. Fucking zoom. The VHF on voice thing is just because normally VHF 3 you have that on the data link, like data there, so if you turn that to a VHF frequency you get VHF voice on there, so if you just turn that back to the data link, which is what you do for ACARs, it disappears, Sean, so it's quite straightforward.
363 taxi right Bravo, left Foxtrot, hold Foxtrot 1.
5,000 feet, 19 miles. Got his factors out nicely.
Bravo, then Foxtrot, hold Foxtrot 1, 363.
Now let's come on. So runway is over here somewhere.
Iberia 3-1 Golf Romeo, turn right heading 060 degrees. When established on the localizer, runway 09 left, descend on the glide path.
Right turn 060 degrees. When established on the localizer on the glide. Iberia 3-1 Golf Romeo. Right, just arm locked for the minute, so we're clear to go down once we're established on it. He hasn't given us any speed control, but I'll make sure I'm about 180 knots before we start going down the glide. Still well below it.
221, runway 09
God, what
left,
a twat for those radios.
900 degrees, 16 knots, clear.
Honestly, I mean, talk about schoolboy errors. So even I make stupid mistakes.
Kellam 47 Golf, runway 09 right, surface wind 09
Right, let's go flat
degrees,
one, so we check
16
flat
knots, clear for
one.
takeoff.
Alright, there's the glides.
Clear for takeoff, 09 right, Kellam 47 Golf, and could we get an
That's a
intersection
180.
takeoff at... November 7, around there?
Kellam 47 Golf from Sierra 7, runway 09 right, surface wind 09 degrees,
I normally they would have given you a speed control, but as he hasn't actually done anything, I'm just going to slow down.
09 right from Sierra 7, Kellam 47 Golf.
Right, glide slope blue, Cat 3 dual label 1 and 2. That's the landing capability of the aircraft. Glide slope star, lock star, Mr. Approach altitude is set. Right, sorry, 14 air. Probably don't need the flap 2 just yet. Still got a while to go. Lovely English countryside. There's Heathrow. A nice big cloud over the top of it. So 29 knots. Well, this will be fun. My battery's getting low on the iPad. You can sort of get harder control knobs and buttons much easier. Yeah, it probably would be John, but I can't really afford it at the minute. I think the controller knows he tried to do it at the accident, possibly. He's probably watching, isn't he? Now he's got the capacity to watch me and do what he's doing, I don't know. Right, 12 miles, yeah, that makes sense. Somebody in front of us, about 4 miles, 180 was fine. He may say 160 to 4 at some points. Do we have any tower? Anybody on the ground? No. It's just the approach. Right, let's go flap 2, speed jets, flaps 2. And we're catching up with him. Let's start slowing down before we catch him up. 160. Right, literally somebody slow to VAP. Right, well, if we do go around, standard go around actions, go around flaps, bring the flaps in, FMAs, man, Doga, SRS, go around, positive climb, gear up, follow the nav, it should go into nav anyway. What we got for the fuel? 2.4, so yeah, we'll give it another go.
Climb flight level 150, Kellam 47 Golf.
Right, he's literally 2.5 miles now. What the fuck is he doing?
The 363 taxi left Bravo, left Romeo, stand 309er.
Right, sod it, Viat. You know, I'm not waiting around for you, mate.
Left
Radio
Bravo,
Thomas is alive.
and then Romeo.
Right, I guarantee you this is going to be a go-around. Speeds, check flap 3, flap 3. Spoilers. So there we go, flap 3 should be about 5 degrees, but it's not, it's 2.5, so yeah, it's a little bit of a bug. So he's literally now 1,000 feet. Who's this? I don't know what to say, but...
Heathrow approach, good afternoon, Stewart 723, 2026, 8,000 feet.
There's Queenie.
723 Heathrow direct.
God rest her soul.
Roger, squawk 5757.
Right, 2,000, landing checklist, cabin is secure. Oh, why are you on? You should be on 3. Oh, I know. Bell end. There we go. Cabin is secure for landing. Go around altitude 3,000 Saturday. Cam memos landing, no blues. God, I've been crap today. It's a good job I'm not doing this for bloody room.
723 leave big in heading 270.
Oh, is he disconnected? He might have disconnected.
Leave big in heading 270, 723.
Yeah, landing gears. We had somebody quite close, so I slowed down a bit early.
LM47 Golf, Monmouth Unicom 122.8, bye.
122.8, LM47 Golf, goodbye.
I must say this is a lot better. It's a lot smoother panning around, so it should be good. I suppose I'll actually do some work now and actually disconnect the autopilot. Still ain't got the clearance, so... Get yourself in the right position.
Bed 73, descent level 70.
Descent flight level 70, Stewart 723.
So misses one. Yeah. Don't care. Right, for 1,000. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the one I want. Disconnected. There's still somebody on the runway. Stable.
Report Alpha Mike, if director, hello, Roger, break, Iberia, 3-1 Golf Romeo, runway 09 on the left, land after the British Airways A320 Neo, surface wind 090 degrees, 16 knots.
And after 09 left, he's Iberia, 3-1 Golf Romeo. Right, he's coming off. Happy of that.
Director, hello, Roger.
So it's daytime visual conditional clearance. Happy to accept that. He's coming off.
100.
Yeah, what?
50.
Keep it coming down.
30. 20. Retard. 10.
Give it 221, taxi right,
Oh,
Alpha, right,
floats.
Yankee, stand 523.
Just hold it there. Not the best.
Mike Alpha, Mike Yankee, stand 523,
Alright, spoilers. First green. Decel.
Report to Alpha Mike, descend flight level 80.
And your brakes.
D7 flight level 80, speed 40 Alpha Mike. 0221 taxi Bravo, right Yankee, stand 523.
Floaty, floaty, floaty.
Speedbird 363 on stand 309, shutting down there, sir. Thanks for the ATC. Bye bye.
Alright, so you want to go left or right?
Brakes, Iberia 3 on Golf Romeo taxi, second right, Bravo, hold short Foxtrot.
Second right, Bravo, hold short of Foxtrot, Iberia 31 Golf Romeo. Right, it's the second right.
Alpha Mike, leave Lambourne, heading 265.
Sort that out in a minute.
Leave Lambourne, heading 265, you got 4 for Mike.
Oh, he's fucking click spots. Fucking useless. Why does it have to be so hard?
That's number 221, taxi Bravo, right Yankee, stand 523.
That's off. That's off. Oops. Look where you're going. It's alright, still on the tarmac. Fine. Right, Foxtrot's down here somewhere. Where's my star charts gone?
28 track miles.
Oh, they disappeared.
09 left, descent to altitude 4,000 feet. QNH 1017.
There we go.
4,000 QNH 1017, 0723.
So where you turvy. So Bravo Foxtrot is this bit here.
Swiss 4 Alpha Mike, descend flight level 70.
Right, started that for 3 minutes.
Skipper 221 Heathrow.
Skipper 221 is with you.
Skipper 221 Roger, taxi Bravo.
Right, I think I've done everything after nearly going off the runway.
Bravo. Question. Taxi Bravo, right Yankee, stand 523.
Taxi Bravo, right Yankee, stand 523, speed 221.
Iberia Triangle Golf Romeo, taxi Bravo, right Yankee, stand 522.
Bravo, right on Yankee, stand 522, Iberia 31 Golf Yankee. The Bravo Yankee, how's he put me over there? Ah, for goodness sake. I'm supposed to be in Terminal 3, buddy, but there we go. Whatever you want. Where's the other one? Where's the other stand? No. There we go. That's what I'm after. Right, so all the way down here, Bravo, through in between the terminals, Yankee and 522. So of course normally you would sort of be expecting that, I suppose. But
turn right heading 005.
Right 005.
yeah, let him in Spanish, yeah. Sim is behaving, Christian, yeah, that was a lot better. Yeah, that was definitely a lot better. Unfortunately my flying was a bit pants, but there we go. The brake temps light, they're not too bad.
73, descent altitude 3,000 feet.
Oh well, maybe I can do it next time.
3,000.
Why does that keep flashing at me? Sod off. Alright, cut in the corner.
Swiss 4 Alpha Mike, turn left heading 260 degrees.
Left heading 260 degrees, speed about 40 left for Mike.
723, turn right heading 060 degrees when established on the localizer, runway 09 left, descend on the glide path.
Right 060 localizer and down onto the glide.
Shut it up.
73.
Was Kilo still closed? Well, I can have a look, Christian. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last time I looked at it, but Yeah, not that he sent us that way anyway. Right, so I think this is going to be Bravo, the next left. We've had 3 minutes to do the single engines. APU is available. It's number 2 confirmed. 2 is off. The electric pump is on. APU's there, and pump is working. Is that Bravo? Or maybe it's the next one's Bravo. That's not Bravo, is it? Nope, it's not that one. So yeah, yellow electric pump is on. Left down here.
23, runway 09 left, FS wind 10 degrees 1. 6 knots, gusting 27 knots, clear to land.
Ooh, gusting 27. It didn't feel too gusty on approach. I can't remember what the wind was doing. I mean, it was more or less straight down the strip, but yeah, I do feel. I think it's Christian was saying something earlier about it. It landed a bit funny, or somebody was. It seemed like the last sort of few hundred feet, it stops going down. You've got to really force the aircraft to keep going down. But then it doesn't need much pitch either to then just sort of arrest the rate of descent and, you know, flare. So it's a bit weird because it seems to sort of suddenly get a bit ground shy. Like, I don't touch the controls, but it just gets ground shy by itself. Where of course in the real aircraft it doesn't do that, you know, just sort of point it towards the ground and it just sort of stays there really until you tell otherwise. But in the sim there's something going on where it seems to be, you know, a little bit hesitant to keep on going down. You sort of keep the attitude and it sort of naturally shallows off the rate of descent, but I don't quite understand why. Which does make it a little bit hard work. You sort of got to push the nose down, which of course normally you wouldn't really be doing that. Right, so what was it, 522 I think, wasn't it? Yeah, seconds to the end on the right. So the rudders are quite useful. I just have to use the rudders to keep straight. Yeah, a little bit sort of, I hate to say, a little bit poor controlling on that approach. Ignoring the fact that I was a little bit crap. But there was no speed control, so that approach controller didn't give me any speed control whatsoever. I don't think he gave this guy in front of me any speed control either, this guy, whichever one it was. And then this guy slowed down to about VAP by about 6 miles, so I was really catching up. Now normally it's 180 to about 8, 160 to 4, and then you go to VAP. And Heathrow will chew your nuts up if you don't stick to 160 knots to 4. They will literally find you and hunt you down. And this guy slowed right down, but the approach controller didn't say anything to him, which meant I had to slow down really quickly. And then of course he gave me a conditional clearance to land after him, which was fine because he was clear. But you know, the speed control should have been a lot better, really. Was it this guy? I don't know who it was. And you know, I only just got in, because I started slowing down a lot earlier because I could see what was going to happen. I could see that separation was really reducing. And you know, I had to start slowing down. If I hadn't slowed down, I would have gone around from that. But there we go. But yeah, pretty poor controlling. I hate to say, because generally most people are pretty good. Right, APU's available, brake pressure's good, staying on stand. Taxi lights off. Should have some. There we go. Ew. Left a bit, you lay. No way is that left. A tiny bit. Don't believe that's left. So yeah, maybe a little bit of a criticism there. I don't think the speed control was really good enough with that sort of amount of traffic. You know, you should be giving people pretty strict speed controls to follow. Oh, sod off. Right, there we go. Anyway, that's the end of that. So parking brake is on. Get this right this time. Yellow electric pump is off. Brake pressure's holding. You've had the time, so engine's off.
Fit for tough like left heading 120 degrees when established on the localizer, runway 09 left, descend on the glide path.
That's all done. That's done. Yeah. That's all good. 2 minutes 10, that's not too bad, is it? Belts are off. Please. Good 10%. There's my beacon, there it is. Good. Deboard. And that was that. So yeah, that was encouraging. The sim behaved, it was nice and stable. No problems. You know, all the problems that I did have were sort of self-inflicted. You know, the landing was okay, it was good enough. I need to get a replay thing, don't I? I need to go and have a look at kilos, so I need to come offline, I think. Can you do the drone when you're online? Oh, I'll disconnect anyway, it's fine, but... Yeah. Let me just have a quick look, let's disconnect. So we're all parked up anyway. Yeah, just about on the centre line, good. Alright, I've had enough of him. Enough bad mouthing other people. Right, disconnect. That's gone. That's gone. Right, let's have a quick look at this. Kilo. Showcase. Oh, you're a funny angle. Go on, go a bit faster than that. Why is it going so slow? Move. Thank you. So yeah, I was actually expecting to park over here on one of these stands. This was kind of where I was expecting to park, so apparently Iberia is now parking at Terminal 3, so probably one of these smaller stands. And yeah, there we go, so there's Kilo. So this is Kilo here. So they've dug this part up, they've extended, so they've done something for the terminals. And they're obviously making more stands available, but yeah, that's... If they had said go down Kilo, I would have come to a dead end. I would have been like, and now we're... So yeah, that's still being done. Whether this has been finished, I'm not too sure. It might have actually been finished by now. I've not been to Heathrow for a long time, so if anybody's seen Heathrow or been there recently, you may know better, but this might actually be a sort of a good place to go through. So, you know, previously in the past you had to sort of go up Lima if you wanted to go round. But now you can obviously go up Kilo potentially in real life. So yeah, maybe this has all been finished. But there we go. That was it. So scenery's good. This is the Inibuilds scenery. You know, very happy with it. It's got the guidance as well. That's the other thing. So it's got the seg guidance for the aircraft. So you saw that I had that to park on the stand. Ew. I probably need to slow that down a bit, don't I? Zoom, slow it down. Yeah. Oh, piss! Don't want to do that. Yeah, there we go. So we got the guidance, which works for Heathrow. It's a shame because it's isn't Gatwick Inibuilds as well? I've got Inibuilds Gatwick, so they've got this module for the scenery here, which is great because it works. But it'd be great if they had that for Gatwick, because then you've got it for Gatwick as well, or any other scenery they may have. But yeah, so that works, which I really like. It's a nice little touch. Where was I? Oh, maybe I was a little bit right at centreline. Okay. Okay, I forgive it. It was saying go left, and I thought it was talking nonsense, but maybe it was correct. Yeah, let's go back in. That looked pretty good to me. I thought I was pretty... So I actually look a little bit left there, to be honest, but I suppose if that's not directly over the centreline, maybe why. Anyway, that's it, guys. Have a good day. I will stream tomorrow, so I've got all day tomorrow, pretty much, actually. I think the missus is coming back a little bit later on today, so yeah, I don't really have time to do anything else, but I will be streaming tomorrow. I'm not too sure what I'd do. I do kind of fancy doing like an American one, maybe. American stream, but I don't know, leave something in the comments if you wanted to go somewhere else in the world, maybe America. Australia, something else, and they'll let me know. Maybe I'll do something. There's probably not going to be any VATSIM online in those places at that time of day, but who knows? And anyway, yeah, I'll disappear now and have a good afternoon wherever you are, and see you later on.